Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. All right, so a little bit of a pullback in the market today. We're going to talk about that, where we think it's going. And good morning, everybody. Tatted Grizzly, what's happening? Precision Turf, what's going on? What is up? What is up? Graphics Card, what's going on? Tamara, did you see VChain and Alchemy Pay partnership? No, I did not. That's good. That's good. Alchemy Pay has a ton of partnerships, don't they? What's up, Violator? Good morning, Asher. What's happening, man? D Hill, good morning. Good morning. Morning, crypto fam. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way inside. Let's jump into it. So, Bitcoin down here at 45.3. I think I saw Tatted put a price point on it. Yeah, here it is right here. He says, hopefully BTC hits that bottom at 44.2K, and then we can rebound from there and keep going up. Well, if we look at the Bitcoin 7-day, we can see that we at least in the 7-day here, bottomed out at 44.3 and have started to reverse. All right, at 44.3, we're back up to 45.3 right now. We'll continue to see if that is the bottom here in the short term, and we can continue to move higher. So, yeah, that 44.2 number, as you put it there, Tatted Grizzly, it hit right about there, honestly, 44.3 here, yesterday. So, we'll see if we can continue to bounce off of that and head in the right direction here moving forward. So, but there are always opportunities, guys. Even when the market is down, there are opportunities. So we're going to talk about, today, should you be buying the dip on some of your favorite plays, right? Your highest conviction plays. And whether those are community coins or top 100 coins, you got to look at where are the opportunities. So when you look at Terra, for example, do you see Terra as at a great buy right now? Given your thesis on Terra, right? If we zoom out here, we take a look at this. We could see we're bouncing, way back down in here where we were about 6-7 days ago. All right, trading at about, this 3.7 level. Now, the big question is, when did you get in? Where did you get in? Do you have an open position already, right? What are your goals here? Are they long-term? Are they short-term, right? But if I'm looking at Terra, it looks like we're starting to form some consolidation down here, okay? Yes, Emmett, you're right. CVC did do a 45 or 50 ETH buyback, something like that. Yeah, 45 ETH buyback and burn yesterday. They did. We will take a look at CVC for sure. Ali, what's going on, man? Terrarium Crypto, what's happening? Pushing Saitama today, LOL. Yeah, we could talk about it. I think I might have put it on the thumbnail, Michael. But it's the same old story for Saitama down here at 12.36. We had a little bit of a pop, on the heels of the OKX, but nothing major here. Nothing real major. We're just back down at this 1, 2, 3, 6 level. And, it's been just kind of a slow decline over time. But this is why, you got to keep your eyes peeled in crypto. There are many, many opportunities out there. And people who get locked into this one crypto, they're missing opportunities. They're missing opportunities. I seen on Twitter. Oh, yeah, Emmett, we can take a look at CVC, actually. Let's see where we're at. I haven't looked at this morning, actually. CVC. Let's see. Still waking up, guys. I feel like I slept, but I didn't get good sleep. You know what I mean? But if you guys could hit that like button, that really helps us out. Definitely pushes us up in the algorithm a little bit. And I'm trying to get more people in here for that keyword crypto news today. I'm trying to use that to get some new people in our community. So push this out to them, hit that like button. That helps us out. Let's go to the hourly here on CVC. Mari, thanks so much for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for the donation. Tim, I love Cardano, man. Sita scam. Yeah, a lot of people calling it that. It's been pretty brutal. Did you lose Shibnobi coin, Zach? What happened? Lose any Shibnobi? I did not lose any Shibnobi coins. No, JT. Zenu's up a tad. Nice. Yeah, here's CVC. This is still looking strong, guys. We're at the 3.2. A little bit of a, dip down in here. We were up here about the 3.4. This was right around the buyback yesterday. When they did the buyback, it actually popped up back up into like 3.7 range. Yeah, even into 3.8. But, I mean, that's still a good-looking, chart, right? If we go into the 1 day, there it is right there. Okay. It's a good launch. So we're at the 3.2 level. be watching it closely here. $32 million market cap right now. Okay. So back to Terrarium down here at the 3.7. Guys, let me know in the chat. Are you guys buying Terrarium at these levels? Yes, first sip, Mari, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to get woken up a little bit. Casey says Piccolo, Tarp. No April Fools, tomfoolery. Nice. Any info about B-Rise? I haven't dug a lot into it, but a lot of people talking about B-Rise lately. Know anything about Impact XP? I hold a little bit of it, that's all. I bought a little bit of it on the hype. Have I seen Cult? I've heard about it. I've seen it on the top line up here. What's it about? Let's see. What's it doing? Here's Cult. Is it still like pumping? Oh, wow. That's pumping. Look at this thing. Holy shit. Cult token. Interesting. Up 65%. Wow. Just got another 500 bone. That might be a good idea. Where's bone at? Is it back down to like 65? Let's see. That could be a good price if it's down there at that price. Let's see. Bone. Let's see what price they. Down at 66 cents. That's a pretty good price. It's a pretty good price on bone. 66 cents. Vito says, yeah, he's getting Terra at this at these levels for the long term. I hear you. I don't hate it. Terra's on a nice little pullback here. Good opportunity. I don't hate it. Any thoughts on Shift? No, JT, don't have any thoughts on Shift. Not quite sure I heard about that one, man. Dropped 200 on Crow this morning. I like that. I like accumulating Crow anytime I can. That's for sure. Shift launch. It was a mess, to say the least. I watched it on the Crypto Shop. I did not hear that, no. Were they covering it yesterday? Those degens. Total degens covering crazy launches. Guys, hit that like button. Let's get up over 200. I'm going to throw this invite link out to a couple people in my private chat over on Twitter and see if anybody wants to join in the conversation. And let's see. I'm going to pop this in here. If anyone wants to jump on. There we go. If anybody wants to jump on. But we got a lot to get to. We can, Bobatama has been really struggling. It's going to be hard for Bobatama now to really reverse, man. This thing is just taking a beating. There you can see this is the one-day charts, man. This thing is back down to where it was on day, what is that, 5? So this has been tough to watch. Bobatama's trying to just regain its footing here, but man, it's been rough. So let's look at ApeCoin here, down at 12.6. Shib staying in the 25.26 range was a good sign. Yeah, definitely, Caesar. Thank you for that $2 donation too, man. Morning, Roddy. Good morning. Thoughts on ETH Shib? Haven't looked too much into it, man, to be honest. Sandstorm was doing a shift live. Gotcha, JT. The creator of Cult is apparently the creator of Shib. Really? How do we know this? Hello from Argentina. What's up, Mariano? Can you please see Bone? Yeah, I just looked at it. I like it. I like it at those prices too. Russ Styles, hey, I've heard anything from ETH scan glitching. That's why it's missing coins. Gotcha. I have not heard that, but it's not uncommon that happens. All right, so ApeCoin down here at 12.6. What do you guys think? Good time to buy? I think it might be a good time to accumulate here at 12.6. ApeCoin is one that definitely a long-term hold for me, guys. Definitely a long-term hold here for me. Mandox, let's see where Mandox is. How big of a dip did Mandox take? We're still dipping a little bit, but we're still hovering right on this line. I think this is a good line to accumulate on Mandox too. Man, so many things I just want to add to, right? So many bags I want to add to. So we said ETH is climbing. Let's take a look. Morning, Muzz. How you doing, man? So ETH is climbing. Oh, yeah, it's back up 1.4% in the last hour. That's good. That's good. All right. It's reversing a little bit. Yeah. Nice. It got down to 32 and now it's back up to 33.20. Nice. Okay. So that's good. Any thoughts for Pixel and Bananas Task Force Ape? I have started looking at Pixel, and it's very intriguing. I'm very interested in Pixel. I know Hobbs had talked about it before. I started doing a little deeper dive. I really like it. I'm starting to really like Pixel. They're having the pre-sale pretty soon. We'll talk more about it when it gets closer. Bananas Task Force Ape, I have not dug into, but I've heard about them. Yes, still very, very bullish on Apollo. And I think this is a great opportunity to acquire more Apollo too, or open a position, in my opinion. Not financial advice. But I mean, look at this. We're at the 7-4 range, pretty much everything dialing back. But look at this. You see this? Basically, we've been right down in here before at this 7-2, and it just bounced off heavy. So we're still trading right in this tight area, this support zone down here. Okay. I think this is a good opportunity to accumulate a lot of different cryptos. Yeah, Champa, Zilliqa is up over 330% in the last week. I've got a video, Crypto News Today video coming out later after the stream, talking more about Zilliqa as well. Zilliqa has been one that I've talked about back in 2021, actually. But if we look at Zill, it has been on an absolute tear. It is ranked number 53 right now. And this is on the heels of the big news about the metaverse, their metaverse play, right? So if we go over to Zilliqa's web, not their website, but their Twitter page here. Here's Zill. I think they might have, yeah. Yes, the rumors are true. This was back on the 23rd, okay? Zilliqa will be hitting up Miami to host an exclusive early access event for Metapolis. Is it Metapolis or Metapolis? Metapolis? You can watch the Reddit later this week to find out how you can be a part of it. So this is their play at the metaverse, world's first metaverse launch event. And this is why, powered by Zilliqa, this is why it's really been pumping like crazy. All right, one of the big reasons. You can see in the last 24 hours, it came all the way up to 22 cents. It has since dialed back down. But look at the 14-day chart here on Zill. That is super impressive. It was way down here, guys, earlier this month at 4 cents. 4 cents all the way to 20, like a 5x here. That's what I'm saying. There's always opportunities in crypto. Even when the market is choppy, even when the market is bearish, there are opportunities. If you just keep your eyes peeled, keep your eyes wide open to new opportunities. And look at this, 4 cents all the way up to 21, 22 cents. All right, so that is a nice little quick jump up there for Zilliqa. I was still holding my bag from way back out. Actually at about 15 cents from over a year ago, actually, somewhere back in here. But if we go max, there we go. Yeah, this was back in 2021 when it went parabolic. I was buying back this time last year, early, about 12, 13 months ago. We were accumulating back in February 2021. Didn't really take profits at the top, but now we're back up. And, I liked Zilliqa from the start. They're doing a lot of interesting things with sharding. They've also, basically have made their primary effort to just improve the scalability of cryptos such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So talks about the transaction speed quite a bit in their white paper too, which is 1,000 times more than that of Ethereum network. So it's fast, secured, and decentralized. It's kind of a riskier play. I didn't put a lot of money into this back in 2021, but it's coming back here a little bit today. So I actually saw it on. I remember when I first saw it, it was like one of the sleepers for the next 5 years. Like if it caught on, and then that's when I decided to add some. Hey, what's up, Believes?
What's going on?
What's happening? Good morning, dude.
Just finished videos, stuff like that for the morning, and about to do my work thing.
What do you got coming out today?
So I am WAGMI first because man, I tell you what, I love WAGMI right now. That is, I don't know, are you involved? Do you have any NFTs? Have you gotten any?
Yes, I did get an NFT. I got a Genesis, and I do have. I'm holding some tokens as well. I signed a partnership with them, an ongoing partnership. So I'll be talking about them for a while, man. I'm super impressed. Right. Scott pulled me in, and kind of sold us on it, man. I'm not gonna lie at first because you hear everybody's doing a play to earn game, but Man,
Yes.
this one looks pretty legit.
Matter of fact, that as I was doing my stuff, Defense Grid 2, one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't know if you ever played it, but to me, that game was just like one of the most perfect alien sort of. It's not very long, but I had so much fun playing it. I played the easy level, the medium level, the hard. I've played it over and over again so much
Yeah.
that it was just a great game. And as soon as Scott started me in on this, I was like, you know what? When I check it out, at some point I'll check it out. But I ended up just loving this game. So, yeah, I'm going to be in here for a while, and we're going to be talking about this game for a long time. And for your viewers, if you're a founder, if you get in on this Genesis, and I think there's some still available, but if you get in, then you get revenue off of the merchandise shop. Like this is a recurring. You don't have to do anything but buy one of these, and it's recurring revenue forever.
Yep.
So, like this is a pretty good deal. It's a really good deal, and it's an exciting game. And Scott is like, dude, Scott wakes me up at 2 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m. in the morning with text messages about, hey man, WAGMI's got something coming, and like it's crazy. Like he is really into this one.
Oh, way into it, man. And
Yeah.
I'm hearing there are some big things coming too, and I think more and more people are hearing about this too when we're talking about outside whales and things like that, because I don't even think this really has gotten out in the wild yet. You know what I
No,
mean? And
it
I
has
think
not.
this is kind of still in house. A lot of people are just now hearing about it. So I think, man, without this game even out yet, this is a good time to be a part of this project for sure.
I got in at about a $2 million market cap, and if you look at that chart, then like you
That's
just
solid.
gotta love exactly how it like it's just been running upwards, and it just has these moments, and it keeps consolidating, and it looks like it's that feeling that you get. Like all of us must be just incredibly excited about it
Yep.
because it just creates a new floor and then moves up again and creates a new floor. So they're keeping people engaged, they're keeping people excited, and what's not to like about a team that's doing that?
Definitely, man. How you feeling about Vault right now? It's been on a little bit of a slide, but I know you're a big Vault guy, so I got to get your thoughts on this, because I'm actually looking at it as an opportunity to maybe buy the dip here. What do you think?
So, a couple more days, we're going to have Volt version 2 come out, which is going to reduce the supply by a factor of 9 zeros. They're going to reduce the supply by a factor of 1 billion. One of the reasons, well, the primary reason is this. This was, I think maybe Shinja was the one that started this, the super ultra micro cap with, trillions and quintillions and just so many different tokens. And it's just not sustainable because if you remember, what happened with Shinja, they were not able to get listed on an exchange that they had already announced was coming. So, they're in not the best shape when it comes to that. And it's now becoming apparent to everybody that you can't get listed on these exchanges with these big numbers. So they're going to reduce the supply. They're going to do a transfer over, and then almost immediately they're going to be announcing some exchanges, and they're changing. One of the things that people always had a problem with was that dip, because they do their sale like once a week for. It's really not once a week, but it's every time they have enough sales, they reach 690 quintillion. They sell 575 quintillion for the liquidity pool.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to do that anymore because people just keep asking questions. Nobody's really informed about it. So they're going to, what they were doing was they're going to do it every hour on the hour now. So you'll just see every hour on the hour instead of what almost basically what everybody else is doing. They're just going to move it to that. And
Okay.
then, uh, and then the Volt game, which I'm still playing like crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot to like when you're looking at Volt. This is a great buy-in opportunity. However, in the next couple of days, I figure it's probably going to dip just a little bit more. Like if I'm taking a hardcore step at the buy-in, you can see like it just kind of broke the support line.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that it probably go right about where you're at right now, that it probably dips down a little bit more and hits
Mm-hmm.
that next line. And then like that's probably the buy-in opportunity.
Okay. Yep.
But after that, it's going to be, remember, we're talking about a $20 million market cap. So it's still a low cap gem,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's had quite a bit of buzz around it. And what moves the needle is exchanges. And they're going to skip through the process and they're going to get to the exchanges. So we're not going to have to worry about um, um, what else is going on, what else is going on. They're going focused entirely on exchanges and make that a big part of what they're doing. So I like it. I'm into it. I'm going to stay into it for a while.
I like it, man. So dude, were you part of this shift stuff that happened yesterday? I was checked out last night, but apparently something went crazy last night with a launch that went bad, it sounds like. So Troy says he's pretty mad at Shift at this AM, sat in their Telegram for 3 hours waiting for a launch. They then said it would be rescheduled and a new contract. So I went to bed. An hour later, they launched. So what happened? Are you aware of this?
I was not part of it because one thing I learned in crypto early is when you get a good launch like CVC, it's always going to be followed by a bad launch. So
True.
it played out just exactly the way you would think. So, however, there's a lot of people that made a good amount. Like it went up quickly when it did launch, but it was my understanding that they were kicking people out of Telegram. That there were a lot of people like Hobbs and other influencers that had live streams because they were into it, and for whatever reason they just couldn't get this thing launched. And like, you know, I'm not into Shift one way or another, and I don't have a decision about them, but I can tell you this: on the outside looking in, which is where I am, that does not bode well for me when your team can't get a launch off successfully. What that tells me is that this thing is destined to hit way down around that launch price again before it starts to bounce upwards. Because the same thing happened with Lily. Once you have a bad launch, you get a little move to the upside. And if you remember Lily, it started so bad, but then it started to move upwards very quickly from that bottom. And then it's just continued to accumulate all this time. So I think this one's probably going to end up doing the same thing, but you never know. But that doesn't bode well when you're just not ready for a launch.
Yeah, I agree. But speaking of CVC, you touched on it a little bit, man. I was super impressed with how their launch went and how things are still playing out for them. Did you get in?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got
Did
in
you
on the
did you
white.
go did you
I got
go
in on the
all the
white
way in?
sale. Yeah, I got in on the white sale and on the pre-sale, and
Okay.
sold
Nice.
everything. I sold everything but one ETH. That's
Okay.
I still have one ETH left in it to ride out, and we'll see what happens with it. But I was real happy with that play. And matter of fact, I was happy because I woke like before I was going to bed 2 nights ago. It hit 43, and I was like, okay, that's enough, man. That's too much oxygen. It's not going to go higher than that.
Yep.
And so
Right
I
after the
sold
year.
everything then. I'm probably that red candle, as a matter of fact.
You got yeah. I mean, you sold it right at the tippy top right now. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So I sold right there, took profits, left in a bag to ride, and then I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, felt like Ethereum was having a moment. So I tethered everything and sat on it for the last 24 hours. And I
Yep.
still haven't pulled out a tether. So I'm just waiting to see what the market does.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. What do you think? A little bit of a pullback here. I mean, it does look like Bitcoin kind of reversed a little bit. Where's it at right now? Okay, yeah, we're bouncing back a little bit. That's good to see. Last hour, we're back up a little bit,
There it
so
goes.
that's nice. What do you think here? Are we still getting kind of geared up for a bigger run here in April? What do you think?
So last night, if you talk to everybody, because we had multiple roundtables going,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody considered that we were in a bull trap, which means we're in a bull run.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we're going to go up just because I'm contrarian. And the one thing that you learn in crypto is when everybody thinks one thing, something else happens. So this is not a bull trap. This thing is about to go. It's probably about to get sent, and we're just going to be along for the ride.
I love it, man. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Um, yeah, man. How about I wanted to ask you, are you going to Bitcoin Miami this year?
No, I'm not going to
Okay.
Bitcoin Miami. I'll be in Singapore in June,
Oh, you
but
are going to Singapore. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I was trying to get my list of all the influencers who were going to be there. But it sounds like a lot more people might be going to the Singapore one, huh?
Yeah, Singapore is starting to become a big thing. So I think there's a lot of different programs, a lot of different projects that want to turn this into something bigger. So there's a lot of invites going out right now to get people into Singapore to make it a bigger event.
And Terrarium will be at that one, I believe, too. I think they're going to be a lead sponsor, right?
Yeah, I think they're a diamond or platinum, whatever the highest level is. They're the biggest sponsor. If you check the sponsor tab up the top, you'll see them like featured prominently.
Oh, here we go. Yep. Nice. Hey, speaking of Terrarium, where are you at with them? Is this a time to accumulate, you think? We're down to this 3.7 level. That's what I was talking about right before you popped on, man. It's like, it's kind of a day where you kind of go back to your highest conviction plays, right? Whether they're, these community coins or even in the top 100, this could be a little opportunity to load up those bags one more time, maybe before we, get.
So that big green line that you saw right there, that's XT. So they got a good pump out of that, but they were coming off of this false thing with Binance, and they still have to live that moment down, and that's going to take a little bit. But that big move was the XT listing, and it was BKX at the same time.
Right.
So you can see that there was a pump there. There was no trading available. Then the trading started, and then you can see, like on the hour candles, you see another little pump for a few hours when BKX opened up its trading. But then you just saw it start to cascade back down. And in my coverage today, what I said was, this is not really. There's a testament here that there's a problem with their messaging, and that was what was going on with Binance. There was a problem with the messaging, and they have to pay their quote unquote toll for that in price action. So they're paying it right now. But some of this is also a weird feeling in the market because Bitcoin is about to run, Ethereum is about to run. The whales know. You know what I mean? So I think they're pulling out because they're wanting to make sure their money's available at a given moment to get into Bitcoin, to get into Ethereum. So we're seeing this play out. You see a lot of red. If you look on the right of your chart, everything that you're tracking, except one, is in red, right? And there's no reason for it because Ethereum, everything's up. Everything in the main market is up. So we're feeling the bleeding right now because people are getting into the altcoins because it really looks like altcoin season. So this is going to be one of those things. It'll play down a little bit, and they're going to have a big announcement in the next 48 hours, is what I hear. I'm not sure about the 48 hours, but they've got what they think is a big announcement. And as soon as the deal's done, as soon as everything's completed, then you're going to be seeing another big move, I think, by Terrarium. So I feel good about it. I got just full disclosure. I sold at the top on this one too. I was not feeling good about that Binance thing, and once we got to, once the oxygen started getting like whoo, I sold out almost everything there, and then as it cascaded down, I accumulated again at the bottom. So
to do it, brother.
Feeling really good about, and I have a lot into Terrarium. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about where they are, and I think that they're going to have this big bounce that it's going to start pretty soon. They struggled to maintain some of their holders, though. I think the holder list was at one point like 9250, 9260, and now it's down to 9206. So they have lost some holders because of what happened. So, and I don't think that they've made it right, by the way. I think that they still need to do more to make it right. I said I recommended spending some money on a buyback and a burn or something like that. And I think they wanted to kind of just ignore that and move it on to 10,000 and do a 1 quadrillion burn. But, some positive sentiment to people does mean a lot. And I think they missed the boat on trying to fix it. So we'll see where it goes, but I still feel real good about it.
Yeah, I think the really good insight too. And I think a lot of people still kind of want a little bit more of a, hey, we screwed up kind of sentiment, right? And we're going to make it right. But I think in their shoes, I think, if I had to, give you my analysis, I think they probably got duped. And they just don't want to maybe really talk about it and say, okay, we made a mistake. But I think a lot of people see it that way too as investors. And, I think I've heard a lot of people say, hey, this is the first little hiccup, right? We can live with this. It happens, right? And we'll see what happens from here. But what other like top 100s are you into, Bleaves? Like just, Zilliqa's been moving like crazy. What are there anything else that are kind of like under the radar that Bleaves is on that maybe not a lot of other people are on in the top 100?
Nothing that's really under the radar. I have holdings in Cardano, which I've got staked, Crow, which I've got staked, and Avalanche.
Nice.
So those are my holds right now. I would have gotten into Luna, but every time I look at Luna, like I know that it's moving. I know that it's moving, and I never seem to catch that dip at the right time.
I
So
know it, man. I'm with
I
you.
always feel like just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then it just gets sent again.
I'm
So
with you, dude. I was able to pick up a little bit when it dipped to like whatever it was, like $55. I think it was
yeah,
back in January or something. But like I just nibbled at it because at that point everything looked like it was still falling. And
yeah,
of course, looking back, I'm like, shit, I should have just loaded it like right in here
yep.
back in February. And that was my first position I finally opened. But quick story on Terra, dude. Somebody in my Discord, this is back in 2021 when I first started the Patreon, Terra was trading at like $12. And if you could see it if we go out here. It was trading. Here it is, right down. It was back in June. It was a little bit. Yeah, it was right in here, right in August, just as it was starting to ascend. He said, "I'm telling you, Zach." He's like, "You're going to want to load up." Shout out to Nut. He said, "You're going to want to load up. This thing's going to be over $100." I swear. And I was just like, bullshit, and just let it skate by. And then, man, was he freaking right?
You
So
nailed that.
yeah. And this thing, I mean, look at the last year. I mean, this is the yearly chart. Look at that thing. I mean, that's just insane.
Super fast, super usable, super functional. What's not to like?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, Phantom's another one. Seiko Hunt. That's another one I wish I'd have got a lot more of sooner, man. I mean, but I still think it's a good one to acquire.
Here's my take on Phantom, and I was big into Phantom in the run up to Halloween. Phantom is a very dark one. Like when you look at the tokens and the pairings that trade on Phantom, you see things like Ghost and Spook, and like they lean heavily into that Halloween sort of flavor. So look at the run up. You can see it. Actually, you see it on your chart. Look what happened around
Yeah,
October as
that's
we were getting
insane.
to the run up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to happen is I think that sometime around September, maybe August, I'm just going to randomly accumulate a bunch for this next Halloween run, because as you can see over there on your chart, like July, that's when the price started going down. Then you
Mm-hmm.
look into August, that's when the price action started to move upwards, maybe late July. So I think that that's the perfect time to grab you some,
Mm-hmm.
because that type of move right there that happened leading up through October, look how high it got on the 31st. Like that's probably
Insane.
near the cap. Yeah, it's going to be
Yep.
right around in there is where you got that big number in the run up. And remember, you're still buy the rumor, sell the news. So
Yeah.
on Halloween day, you're probably seeing a little bit of a dip, but on the run ups, you're just right there. So I'm going to do the same thing again this year.
I like it. I like it. You said you've got Crow. Are you staking over there?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I got to get better with that. I've been staking a little bit, but I want to go kind of all in with it and get the USTC rewards and get the Ethereum rewards. And so that's one thing on my list.
I stake Hex, even though we're not talking about them in the top 100. They are a top 10 token.
Yep.
So I stake my Hex as well. And I also have, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. You probably are because you're in this space, but Saitanobi.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
of it. Yep.
So I've got a few thousand in Saitanobi that's sitting there. And all it's doing is just earning me more Saitama and more Shibnobi. And I'm not soured on those. Like you might see my videos at some point. You might think I'm going extra hard on Saitama. I don't have a problem with Saitama. I've had a problem with Russ and Russ's ability to motivate, because I think the problem there is that first of all, the product hasn't been the greatest, and he's the hype man, and he hasn't been able to hype it, so he takes the brunt of it. But he also should realize that if that's the case, stop hyping, stop over hyping.
Yep.
What he does is over promises and under delivers, and he's got to get over that.
I agree, man, 100%. And I think people are finally starting to understand the power of diversifying too. And I think, I feel bad for a lot of people who've just gotten so locked into this one crypto, whether it's Saitama or something else, right? Because what happens is, man, you just miss out on so many opportunities. I feel like there are so many people out there that spend so much time in these Twitter spaces. Let's just say it, right? That essentially they're just kind of recycling the same information every single day, like they're not learning anything. Like they missed the CBC launch, they missed ApeCoin, they missed WAGMI, right? Like because they're not paying attention.
There's a cult mentality, and
Yeah,
it started with Bitcoin,
yeah,
and it spread everywhere. Like it really took hold with Dogecoin. Dogecoin taught you that if you just blindly hold for long enough, you're going to be rich.
Yeah.
So then it got reinforced, and this is just in public lexicon, not in these tight-knit communities, but in the public lexicon, Dogecoin, if you just hold forever, something's going to happen. And Shiba, if you just hold forever, something's going to happen. So actual investment and actually doing it right started to fall by the wayside. So now it's just like hold on to your bag and hold on to your dream. Despite what the cycles tell you and what the charts will always tell you, they're trying to get you to believe. And this is not even for the benefit of this new product. And the reason that we're seeing that sort of fall away is because we're in an age of marketing wallets. Now it doesn't matter whether you buy or sell, marketing wallets are getting filled, development wallets are getting filled. So it used to be you had no wallets, so you had no incentive to sell, and the developers just wanted you to hold because they add to their price. Now they don't care if you buy or sell, they're getting paid either way to continue to move their product. So now we're starting to see that trend reverse, and instead of holding it forever, and you're still going to see people say hold it forever because they were taught that way, but now you're starting to see people say, yeah, I should diversify, because the marketing people, like even Saitama, they don't tell you to hold forever. They're like, take your profits. Like they don't have a problem saying it. So there's just a different sentiment in the market right now, and it's a healthier one.
I agree, man. I think you bring up a lot of good points too, because there is there is that mentality of, man, if I'd have just held my Bitcoin from 2010, and it's like I get where people are coming from, but like these cryptos like Saitama and Mandox and Shib and Rise and Volt and Apollo and WAGMI, Shibtoro, they're not Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I mean, like these are like, let's just say it, like these are like penny stocks in the stock market versus like holding Apple and Microsoft and Netflix for the long term, right? It's
Exactly.
different, So if you look at it from that standpoint, you can honestly inject both of these strategies, right? So like you can use these smaller caps, at least this is what I do. I use these smaller caps to make my big gains, right?
Yep.
And then I start diversifying into more of the long-term holds, right? Whether
100%.
that is Solana, Crowcoin, Shiba Inu has become one of those long-term holds for me because it's a household name now in the top 20. But Ethereum, Bitcoin, now all of a sudden I'm able to diversify more into those bigger players that are long-term holds, right? So that's how I play this game. And I think maybe people kind of adopted the HODL Bitcoin forever mentality and try to pull it into Saitama, and it just doesn't work that way, man. It's different, right?
It's just a different thing. Saitama just what we have to understand, and what most people don't understand because they don't want to, like there's a collective ignorance that we all share, and that's that we're creating use cases where they don't really exist. We're creating utility where it doesn't really exist. So in meme coin space, it used to be that we're going to do something in the future, but really, here's what moves the needle: centralized exchanges. You might get something if you have an actual product that gets released. And Shib is a perfect example, by the way. Shib had no use case in the beginning, and it just got by on hype. It's a hype coin or hype token. And then they started to create uses, and then everybody started to copy what Shib was doing. So now you have a Shib game coming. Now you have all these different little things that are starting to develop to create use, and everybody's copying that.
Yeah.
So like what you just we just have this collective ignorance that everything is a use case. Like, for example, for anybody who follows me on my channel, it's an attractive channel.
Definitely hit that subscribe button to Believes, guys. Great content.
One thing that I just don't like are charity tokens. Like, I don't think that charity tokens are sustainable, because all you're asking me to do is just give you money for somebody else, and that's charity. And it's a noble spirit. It's a noble endeavor. But that's not going to make me any money. So, like, what are we really doing? What are we really doing here? So I always ask that question. And like, I have one today that I did my first video on, because I struck up a partnership with them, and it's called Crypto Wrestling Inu. And it sounds like Right. It sounds like an absolute degen play. It's CWI. It's like a total degen sort of play. And then as I started talking to these guys, like, I know wrestlers and I know what some of these guys go through. And I know how this hurts because at 18 years old, I was training with my uncle to become a professional wrestler. And I couldn't even take like one day. It's just, oh my God, it was like, it's bad. Like and I can't imagine what it's like to be that way every day. So when these guys
Yeah.
approached me and I was like, yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, maybe I can talk to some people and we can see what we can do. They were friends of the people that I was already friends with. So I was like, oh, good. So these people are going to be coming aboard and there's going to be some big time wrestlers that are be associated with this. And their whole purpose here is, and I'm not getting on a soapbox because it's wrestling, but wrestlers are independent contractors. They don't have insurance. They have to pay for themselves. And some of these guys don't work for corporations that pay them enough money to pay for that. If you break something, then you're kind of screwed. If you get injured, then you're in bad shape. So this is their way. And these guys are wrestlers, by the way. So this is their way of turning this into something where they're, and if you go to their website, which is not up there, but it's like cryptowrestlinginu.com. If you pull it up, when you see it down at the very bottom, this is one, and this is something very rare that you will not normally see. Go to the bottom. Yeah. It actually tells you, listen, you're probably not going to make money here. This is not about you making money. This is about you helping people. Do you know what I mean? So this was the one charity token that kind of got me because there was a level of honesty right there. I think it is that additional information right there. This is what kind of got me. They just said, hey, you might not make money here. We're not offering you promises for profit. We're not telling you that you're going to make money. We're telling you that you're going to help people that need help. And that was one of the most honest things that I've ever seen in crypto from what is otherwise a hype token. And that got me hooked. So, and I'm also, by the way, trying to convince Austin, because he's a big time wrestling fan too, like me, to do a wrestling podcast, call it like crypto and like wrestling in crypto or something like that.
That'd be cool.
So we can cover it. And Shibtoro, what I think of Shibtoro, I like Shibtoro because Shibtoro's got a game coming. That's an actual use. So the problem that I have, Vito, is when you have a charitable contribution, but you don't have anything to go along with it. Like that's where that disconnect is.
Right. What's the incentive for holders? Right. Yeah. What's the incentive? Right. Yeah. You're right.
And crypto wrestling is not sustainable as it currently is right now. I'm doing it because I know wrestlers and it's something that's important to me. Just like Shibtoro, when they started doing it, when Para started doing what they were doing, when all these, if you have something that you're passionate about, then go for it. But it's not sustainable. And I can't tell an investor, throw your money at this because you're going to get rich, bro, because it's not true.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're right. That is really interesting how they just put it right here. There's absolutely no expectation of making profits, as this project is built on a completely decentralized, anonymous, large group of wrestling and crypto enthusiasts from all around the world. I mean, if that's not transparent enough, right? Like CWI coins are a means to transfer wealth and shouldn't be considered as an investment. There you go.
Right. How often have you seen that on any wrestling or on any crypto website?
Not a lot. Actually, never. Probably. That's pretty cool. Shibtoro, yeah, man, we're kind of dipping right now too, and there's some arbitrage going on right now. That's something, man, we got to figure out, right? So apparently with Shibtoro, it's been hot bit, and that is essentially why you're seeing this kind of decline. It's just full arbitrage. People are going on there buying and then selling for a cheaper price. What's the way around this with these smaller exchanges, man? Is it just bypassing these small exchanges? Like what are we going to do about this? Because it's becoming an issue, don't you think?
It fixes itself when Ethereum is finally done, because like what we're talking about right now are fees, and we're making the swaps over become worthwhile. And you're always going to see a level of it. But when Ethereum is no longer prohibitive in cost to get into, and you're starting to trade for like pennies or just $1 or $2 or $3 for a transaction instead of the ridiculous amounts that we pay right now, you'll see a huge change in the way that all of these things are done, because you have to, the level of profit that's required in order to pay for the fees in and out are why you see these big swings, and you'll see less big swings. That arbitrage will be a little bit smaller because everybody can do it and you can do it easier, and you're taking the fun out because these are whales that are doing it. These are big people that are making like larger investments, and that's why you see the big dips, and you won't see them as much when it starts to happen the other way.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Ethereum, just looking at the burn rate right now, 3.70 ETH per minute. Look at this. Look at the total burn number so far this just this day. I mean, this is insane actually. Time frame. If we go out to the all, look at this.
Yeah.
Look how many Ethereum have been burned to this point. Now, this is since the EIP 1559 upgrade, guys, which happened back in August. And a lot of people ask, why are you so bullish on Ethereum? Why ETH? This is one of the big reasons why. It's becoming deflationary. It already is a household name. There's something I've looked at quite a bit too called the flippening index, which goes through these major points where Ethereum is slowly flipping Bitcoin, whether it's total transactions or things like this. Even where Bitcoin still has a big stronghold on ETH is Google search. But like these are all these kind of metrics we're looking at. But I just think ETH is destined to do big things, man. Once, if and when we get this Ethereum 2.0, damn it, is it going to come in June or what the hell? Is it finally?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be here.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're under the gun. You have to look at the market, and I know that they don't want to rush anything, but it's not about rushing the programming at this point. It's about getting it done on time, because if you can't deliver in and Terra delivers and Avalanche delivers, if you can't deliver and all these other people are delivering, you're just diluting and cutting into your market share.
Yeah. I mean, look how much Solana and Luna and Avalanche, look how much they've gained ground since this Ethereum stall, we'll call it, right? Do you think then Ethereum just becomes more of a dominant force? Do you think a lot of that money comes back out of the Sols and out of the Lunas and back into Ethereum once it becomes more scalable? Or do you think it just kind of levels off and we just see continued growth from all of these? What do you think?
Well, when we get to point of sale in June, that's not going to change very much, or proof of stake, point of sale. When we get to proof of stake, then it's not going to change that much. It's going to change a little bit, but it's not going to be earth shattering. It's just going to be a change in the way it's done. It's when we get sharding that allows the distribution of the energy to different places to slow down. That's going to cause the prices to go way down, and we're not there. That's a little bit further out, but we're going to be at that spot where we're going to be even more deflationary, because the deflationary nature of Ethereum has only taken hold for a couple of days out of these cycles. Like, we're not deflationary every day. It's only like on a very specific set of days that it goes deflationary. So we're still in an inflationary spot, but we're starting to see it swing. And as we go further, we'll, the sentiment will start to change. But here's the thing: at the end, everybody's on Ethereum. So when Ethereum is more affordable, everything else gets left in the dust. Like, there's nobody that's going to pass Ethereum up like they're standing still the way it sits right now. Nobody has the capacity. Nobody has the framework. Nobody has the contracts. Nobody has the integration. Nobody has what Ethereum has. So they're on the clock, but that clock's got a long tick to it. And there's room for a couple more blockchains. I mean, like, I don't think Terra, Solana, and Avalanche, they don't all survive. We're not even in the spot right now, which I don't know if you were on when we were talking about this, because people didn't realize it, but it's coming. And that is, at some point, Ethereum, if it takes over, Ethereum's going to start buying these other blockchains up. They're going to be throwing money at these people to buy them up and take control of some of these blockchains. That is what happens in capitalism. That's how capitalism works. Some of these programs are just going to be bought up and merged into or phased out by other projects. And if Ethereum is making billions of dollars and they can afford to go buy these smaller blockchains and increase their quote unquote market share as layer 2, I mean, they want some of their layer 2s. If they can do that, then they're going to take over even more, and they're going to control even more of the market.
Point. Yeah. Tori, thanks for that $2 super sticker. Thoughts on Reef Token? I do not know much about it. Believes, do you know much about Reef Token?
No.
Tori, I don't even know how to find it, brother. Let me know in chat and I'll try to pull it up for you. But shout out to Tori. He's been around for a long time. It says, will ETH ever be more affordable? Yes. I mean, I think in terms of gas fees, is that what you're asking, Crypto Break Room? Yes, it will get better. Eagle says, good morning. Jake Gagan said, and your pump also said, oh, Shiba. Oh, man. All right. So you got some insight on this.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was dealing with them yesterday. Spoiled is meeting with another guy that I got some relationship with about some partnerships that might be going on. And yeah, I'm excited about Sheep. The game is just fun to play. Next week, I don't know if you heard yet, but next week I put up. I think Brad put up $500. I put up like $700. Pablo Crow put up $500. We all put up a bunch of money. We're gonna have a tournament next week on Shiba, and whoever wins will make a charity donation or whatever to whatever it is, and then we're gonna try to get some developers to come in and play the game too.
Hell yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah,
cool.
That'd be kind of neat.
You gonna live stream it? Of course.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna do it on Sandstorm.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Morgan, I'm sorry, I missed your super chat from earlier. How do I link my wallet to WAGMI to buy? Whoa. Hello. How do I link my wallet to WAGMI to buy NFT? I have a MetaMask. You should have, my MetaMask has an NFT section on it, right? Does yours, Believes? It should have. Yep. Yeah. You should be able to swipe over to the right and you should have an NFT section right on there, Morgan, if you're using your phone. I don't think your NFTs pop up like that when you're using the Chrome extension, though.
Oh yeah, and by the way, your WAGMIs, they will come in like without color or variation. You have to mint them. So you have to look at them on OpenSea for right now until they it takes a couple days before they populate in your wallet where you can see them the right way. But the stats were just revealed. As a matter of fact, my video today on WAGMI was me revealing the NFTs that I got, and I got a couple of them that had like gunmetal, which was a rarity, and a couple other stats that were rarities. I got one of them that had 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, either 7 or 8 stats, which is a high number. So yeah, I got one of them. Didn't have the golden wings though. So Scott, I'm going to take you down with the golden wings, but he got the golden wings when I didn't.
Man, it's going to be cool as hell to be able to play the game and stream some content that way too. So that's going to be pretty slick.
Birdo, that's Ethereum and Ethereum 2.0 are the same thing. The only thing that's different is Ethereum Classic, and don't buy that.
Right. Yeah. I was watching some guy the other day who's super bullish on Ethereum Classic, and I was trying to wrap my head around why. But yeah, I say it all the time. I think people genuinely get mixed up on Robinhood, and that's why Ethereum Classic just goes bananas and goes bonkers out of nowhere sometimes.
Right. People are silly. Ethereum Classic has no use.
Right.
It's just named Ethereum, and people. Here's what happens: new crypto investors, they look at it and they see, hey, here's Ethereum.
Yeah,
but here's the original Ethereum, and it's way cheaper. I should get this.
Exactly.
And that's how the price moves.
Yep, exactly. So Roman, check out Ring. What is that? Ring Sun coin?
Rising Sun.
Oh, Rising Sun. What the hell am I doing? .io NFT staking 5%. Have you heard about this?
No,
I've not either.
Rising Sun is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies and books, though.
Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Let's see. What other ones do I have? Anything else we're not talking about, Believes, that you're on that whether it's community coin or something different? I'm struggling, man.
I mean, I think it's gonna have some moments like the thing about all of these tokens is they have to ride on sentiment. They ride up, they ride down. They have to consolidate at some point. Like, you got to look at that day when we all started looking at Bobatama, and we were all looking at ourselves like, what is going on?
Right.
That's not sustainable. That's not how crypto works. Now you have to, at some point when that happens, you then have to pay a tax. And the tax is that what goes up always comes back down.
Yes.
And that's what's, that's the biggest thing that's going on. But if there's one that I'm out here that that I really like is Sape, that
Oh,
Seifu 8.
yeah. Yeah. Rodney
Like,
did a AMA with those guys, I think, yesterday.
yeah, and they seem to like
Seifu 8.
they're way more than I ever thought they were, because they approached me about like a one-off shill and stuff like that, and I was like, let me see if I like what you guys are doing first, because what I don't like doing is putting them out and just not knowing. And
Yeah.
I like what I saw from these guys, even though it just seemed like a total degen play at first. Um, and and remember, like, I'm pretty sensitive because Pongo was my baby, and Pongo. Oh, by the way, Pongo version 2 is launching. We did save it with grifters, so if any of
Okay.
your if any of your watchers are looking for a reason to invest in something in this space, grifters is saving one of the meme tokens that went sour called Pongo. The developer decided he was not going to support it anymore. He gave everybody a chance. Like, he put extra money in. He sold off his NFTs in order to pump the price. He did a whole lot to make sure that people didn't get completely wrecked on it. But everybody just loved Pongo. And so we're going to have the image, the likeness. Like, he's not mean about it or anything, but he just didn't want to do it anymore. So Grifters is bringing it back to life, and it's going to be called Pongo Kai. So it'd be like Pongo version 2, and like they basically came in and saved it. So if you want a reason to invest in anybody, somebody like Grifters is going to be one of them. So
Heard about grifters, but no, that's good. That's good. Good insight. Trying to think of some other ones that I'm kind of thinking about. Back to the top 100, man. I really like Gala. This is one that let me go back over here. This is one that I'm really thinking is going to pop off here at some point in 2022. I think we're getting really close to that tipping point where a lot of gaming tokens start taking off.
yeah, I never understood why I was going to be excited about Gala, because, like, I didn't understand what exactly it did. Like, I understood it was a metaverse. I understood that there was something under the hood, but like I never, like, as you know, our time is limited. Unless
Yes,
somebody brings something to you, it slips by you from time to time.
for sure.
Gala Games, I don't know exactly what it is that they do other than like a game maker.
Hmm.
So, and I don't know, like, that just in itself didn't move my needle. Like, I know I'm supposed to be excited by it, but like, so what? Like, everybody's a game maker at this point. So what is it that you're going to do that's going to make it something different? Like, and I know that the prices continue to just, but I remember it had that big run up
Hmm.
around October. As soon as Facebook went meta, it was one of them that just rocketed up like sand, and all of those other ones. But like, I just really haven't given it the time or the oxygen to figure out like whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I think for me too, one of the big reasons why I liked it, because the people behind it they've had a ton of success.
Yeah,
Um, what's the game? What's the game developer that is it not Zynga? What the heck? What's the big? It starts with a Z.
yeah, Zynga.
Zynga. Okay, yeah. So the founder of this
The
was the
farm,
founder of
it's
Zynga.
the farm people. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And they have many, many games in their ecosystem. I just think they're building out the infrastructure to kind of just pump these things out,
yeah,
right? I think they're going to be able to just have like that network growth, like unlike maybe some of the other ones that are just coming off with a one-off. And like, sure, if it hits, great, but if it doesn't, like, you're just kind of back to square one, where it's like
yeah.
Alec can throw a ton of different darts, and all they really need is like two or three to really take off and grow. And it's like, oh shit, like
Once they developed
Gala's
that, whatever that farm game was,
Was it Farmville or
there you go, Farmville. There you go.
yeah, yeah,
Once
yeah.
they developed Farmville, they had created the template for 100 different games. And it didn't
Yes,
matter whether those games took off or not. Some people
exactly.
liked them, and it didn't really cost you a whole lot other than some art department work to skin the
Crank them
game
out.
and turn it into right. It was just the same thing. You were just, instead of trading barrels of hay or whatever it was that you were trading, you were just putting in your cosmetics or making a burger. Like one of those was like
Yeah.
a burger game, or once you got that in
Remember
place,
that.
so yeah, like if that's the guy that's doing it, then he's just going to churn out as many games as possible just to see which one hooks.
Yep.
And if it's him, then that also means that at some point he's going to merge into whatever Facebook is doing with their meta.
I think so
So
too, dude.
that's going to turn it into a bit that if Facebook's going in hard, then I'm sure he's going in hard with Facebook, and that's probably going to be a pretty synergistic relationship that's probably going to turn this token into something real special.
And here's the thing, I'm looking at it from this standpoint too, man. I feel like I'm betting it's like an infrastructure play versus like a one-off game, right? Because there's so many like projects that have these sweet ass games. Like, okay, like yeah, Project Quantum looks cool as shit. Engine's got a cool as hell game. Chihiro Inu, cool as hell game. WAGMI, cool as hell game, right? But it's like it's still a risk, right? Because it still has to catch on. They still have to market it well. They still have to, take that thing and hopefully reach the masses with it. Where it's like Gala, it's like an infrastructure play. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
like we're building like this way to go about this, where it's like we're gonna have a pool of games, and the world is your oyster. Come into our ecosystem. We've got a game for you, right?
yeah.
So we'll see, man. I think we're right on the heels of the gaming side of things really taking off. What other like sectors are you kind of most interested in right now? Like, is it play to earn? Is it gaming? Is it metaverse?
I mean, really, the one that I'm
Just
looking
DeFi?
at is the one that I think drives everything, and that's blockchain. Like that's
Yep.
where my fascination is. I'm in on Pulse
Yep.
for the Pulse chain. I sacrificed early on that one, so I got a feeling that when that comes out, that's going to be one of those things. Like especially with the hexagons behind it, there's gonna that like that thing is just gonna run and run and run and run. Because when I talk about cults, that's one of them. We have that cult vibe, like hexagons. All they do is stake hex.
Yeah.
Like they've made cryptocurrency so simple. All you have to do is stake it. So like they get it in ways that other people do not, or at least Richard Hart gets it in ways that other people do not. And he's created this thriving sort of ecosystem here that when that thing comes out, it's going to go crazy. So I
Interesting.
look at different blockchains, and if there's a blockchain out there, like just give it a shot.
Definitely. There's a couple big stories kind of surfacing as we get closer and closer to Bitcoin Miami. One of the stories that I've heard surfacing is this right here. Will Strike announce a partnership? This is Jack Mallers. He'll be there at the event. Will Strike announce a partnership with Apple at Bitcoin 2022? And that's an interesting point. It raises some interesting questions about these big companies who have yet to really fully jump in. Apple's one of them.
Yeah.
They're going to get involved here at some point, at one point or another here. Maybe we do get some kind of big news that, Apple's jumping in or partnering with Strike. The thing with Apple is, man, they don't buy anything. They just sit on wads of cash. Like they don't like use that model like Microsoft does of just buying shit. They just buy companies. Apple just sits there and waits, and basically like they can get into anything they want at any given moment. Like they want to get into EVs, done. They want to get into crypto right now, like they could just be boom in like top of the food chain, right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting, man. What do you think? Like when these big companies like Apple and we've heard about Walmart and Amazon, they're hiring crypto experts. I think it all just adds up to that we're just super early, man. What do you think?
I think that the principles of Steve Jobs were to have plenty of cash on hand in case you wanted to do something. And as a company like, as a tech company like that, that's what you always have is a lot of cash on hand. But I think that they're going to be looking at this, and I'm sure they've got experts that are already looking at it. And the reason they're going to do something like this is because that store value on Bitcoin is probably going to be better for them as a hedge against inflation. And at some point, they're just going to go all in on it, and they will buy deep and heavy. And that's the way it's going to play out. Like they're going to move on it, probably low at first, but at some point you're going to start to see, because at the end of this, there's 21 million Bitcoin, and there's probably 2 million that have already been just disappeared from the ecosystem. So that's not enough. That's not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire. There's something like 78 millionaires in the world, or 78 million millionaires, and only 20 at any point 20 billion circulating Bitcoin. And if they're a store of value, then what does that say about the price of Bitcoin at some point? Like it's like at the end of it, like not every millionaire can even have one Bitcoin.
Right.
So
It's
I
pretty
think
wild.
Apple's going to be looking at that, and I think that they're going to make a good determination that obviously they know what crypto does because they've blocked so many different crypto apps and assets, and anything that doesn't. And I think part of the reason was because they don't want it. They don't want people making money on their ecosystem without that they get paid for it. So at some point they're going to have to adopt crypto in some way. So this might just be the first step.
It's a good point. So there's some interesting insight here. He says, this is Jack Mallers on Twitter. With Bitcoin as the monetary network, the financial system will be cheaper, faster, more innovative, and more inclusive. But people are asking, like, well, why does this have anything to do with Apple? Well, in this picture that he posted, I don't know if you saw the full picture. He's flipping off a Chase. This is a Chase ATM.
Yeah.
He's flipping off a Chase ATM and wearing an old school Apple hat. So Jack, of course, the CEO of Strike, will be a main speaker at the Bitcoin event. Is this leading up to a big announcement? This is going to be interesting. Another big announcement. So I don't know if you caught this. I did a video on this, and I did it with a Shiba Inu hook because I wanted to make sure people saw it. But Robinhood, some very interesting shit here going down. So let me pull this up and take you to the agenda here. And I don't know if you saw this, but they're going with extended trading hours now, and their goal is to go to 24-hour trading. And they've already got it in where I think you could start now at 7 a.m. and it ends at 8 p.m. Eastern. But their goal is to go all the way for 24/7. So I started thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, okay, their goal is to go 24/7. I'm thinking their goal is to go more into crypto here too. And let's face it, they made more money in crypto in 2021 than they did trading, than they did with the stocks. So I don't know, man. I got a feeling that they're going to go all the way in here. And here's this. Watch this. So if you scroll on down here, Robinhood, where are they? I think they're somewhere in the afternoon here. Here it is right here. So at 1:20, Robinhood announcement at Bitcoin 2022. It's a 5-minute announcement. This is Aparna. She is their COO, and there you go. So I'm really interested to see what comes of this. Are they going to go all the way into crypto? They now have their crypto wallets out. I think this could be really interesting. This could certainly help bring in a huge influx of retail investors if they start adding, Cardano, Solana, Shib, because they don't have many coins on there right now, man. I mean, they only have like 5 or 6. So this will be fascinating. What do you think? And Robinhood's stock price, by the way, surged 25% on the heels of extended trading hours.
Robinhood needs crypto more than crypto needs Robinhood at this point. So when you have that sort of appearance, I mean, Citadel has really kind of ruined and sullied the reputation of Robinhood over the last year and a half. So they need an impetus, and they need to get away from Citadel. So if that can still be a big part of their portfolio, but they can expand in a different direction so that they gain more control back of their relationship with what they're doing, that's going to be great for them. That's going to be really good for Robinhood. So I think that you're going to see Robinhood start to do some mass adoption, and you're going to see it really quickly. And they're going to look at what moves the needle. What moves the needle? What moves the needle is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Shiba. So when you look at the amount of trading that goes on, that's what they need. They need the volume for the money, and they need that sentiment to be positive. And they start doing that, and they're back in the public eye, and they're doing great, and people are feeling really good about them. So their price is going to surge because of the possibility that if it actually happens, then they're going to have some pretty big moments pretty soon.
For sure. Jack Mahler's set to talk on April 7th, too. I'm going to try to bring you some live footage. I'll definitely be bringing you some live footage. How much of it will be directly when they're talking, I don't know. I'm going to try to get in there. I've got my selfie stick, so we'll see if I can even maybe get an interview with Jack or something like that. I'm going to try how to bring you some cool content.
All right. Well, I got to get to work now. So
yeah, man.
I got to get off here, but just somebody just said that. Just guys, Shiba, pack your bag because that game is about to come again.
Love it, man.
All right,
Please,
man.
always welcome, man. Have a great day, brother.
All right, man. Talk to you.
Yep. So shout out to Believes. Great guy, guys, by the way. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. He's got some great content, great insight that he's always bringing for you. And it's definitely to get, it's definitely great to get different voices, right? So get different perspectives. Believes always has some interesting angles and perspectives. So definitely do that. That's a great thumbnail too, by the way. The Yacht Club Inu thumbnail. That's fantastic. So there you go. Believes, always welcome back, man. So that'll do it for this episode here this morning, guys. And happy Friday to you. Hopefully, this market starts turning back in the right direction. But I do think it's already starting to a little bit here. At least that's what it looks like. Bitcoin back up in the green in the last hour. So is Ethereum. As we can see here, we're reversing nicely here. ETH trying to get back close to 3,400 here, and Bitcoin heading north of 45.6 right now, up about 0.7%. So. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. As always, hit that like button on your way out if you haven't done so already. Subscribe. Also, we are live every single Monday through Friday, right around 9 a.m. Eastern time. So whether you're at work, whether you're in the car, we've got you covered with your crypto news and bringing you some entertainment and some insight every single morning from 9 a.m. till about this time, 10:20. So with that being said, guys, I'll have a bunch more content out. I've already got a couple videos recorded, so they'll be out all day long. I've got some interesting videos, one crypto news today, talking more about Zilliqa. I've got a Shiba Inu video coming out as well, and I'll have a bunch more stuff for you too. So take care, everybody. Have a great Friday, great weekend, and I will talk to you all very soon. Peace.